kings and celebrities make deals behind closed doors, promises broken, and their income soars. Hidden agendas run the grand parade. In the circus, choose to masquerade. Believe me, I wouldn't lie. I've been given money, power, and fame to keep you in line. Television screens bright and loud, sell you dreams, make you proud. Pop the bubble, see the cage you're in. Start the revolution, let the truth begin. Wake up, they're feeding lies. Control the media's got you hypnotized. Trust authority, they'll take your soul. Break the chains, find your own control.
Hello, welcome to the Chaos livestream with Kat, Damon and Toyak. If you like insanity, you're going to love this.
Welcome, everyone. That was the wrong intro. It's just me today. But today we're going to be talking about the hot, holy matrix guide to men, because I was online, as one does, and I came across this gem. I'm going to show you guys a little bit. Okay, and this video is hilarious, and I mean, these things are true. Like, let's just be honest. You have to think about these are not the only, of course, criteria that you're going to think of when you're choosing a mate. But if you're religious at all, these things are important. And I would say if you're not religious, you probably should be a little bit religious, because where are your morals coming from? And where are the person that you're with morals coming from, if not that? I mean, it's like everything is up to interpretation, and I don't know if you want to risk that with someone for the rest of your life. But anyways, this is a great video, and if you're a dude, you should totally watch this, because I think he's onto something. Now, that being said, there are some people that have decent morals before or without religion. Yes, that is true. But it usually comes from religion. Like, their parents got their morals from religion, and then maybe the parents lost their religion, but they kept the morals even though they don't know why they have those morals. They just kind of repeat it. I mean, these things do happen as well, but it's important to talk about things like that before you get married. And anyway, so let's just go ahead and have fun, because I made my own and I think it's great. Okay. So here we have the hot holy matrix, and this is just for the dudes now. So, okay. I don't know if you guys have heard of Fahoum, but Fahoum has a whole thing on, I think I have his book somewhere. But anyways, the whole premise of one of his videos is like, there's like a section of the population that girls consider not people. And that's like, you are below a certain level in hotness. Like, let's say you're below a 5 in hotness. Like, hold on. You're below the 5 in the hotness level. So even if you have like all the money in the world, maybe if you have tons of money and you're very low in intelligence and social intelligence, maybe they would marry you for the money, then divorce you or embezzle the money from you or whatever. But I'm talking about good girls here. So I'm not talking about like predatory women. So let's just throw that aside. This is directed towards the good girls. Good girls are not going to do those things, so they're not interested in that. They're just interested in like a good guy. Like, what are my best chances to get a guy that's religious enough that he's going to have some good morals and be a good family guy, but also meets the criteria. So we have to use Fahoum's criteria for like, you know, what he uses for like dating or rating or whatever. And there's a certain point where it's like anything below this is not human. So like, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter, you know, your charisma, whatever. You're just not on female radar. So those people, we're not talking about them. Those people need to work on making their attractiveness and social status. I'm including everything in hot. Like, this is like not just hot, because women are not as visual as men. They are visual. Like, if you're an attractive guy, you definitely have an advantage, but that's not the end all be all for women. It's more like provide, protect, be strong, physically capable. And attractive is like your cherry on top, right? Every girl is going to fall for the cherry on top guy. But if you go back to whole math thing, there is a level of guy that's very hot, but he's got nothing else going for him. Therefore, women who do not have morals, so they're not like over here, will go for them for like a fling, right? That is your very attractive, not going on much in their life. That's kind of like a non-attractive woman that you would never marry, but she's very easy. So that's the same as a guy who has nothing in their life going for them, but is very attractive. So very easy woman that doesn't have to give you much effort and you can get easy, whatever, is the same as a very attractive man with nothing else going for them. Okay. So let's go. So if you are like a 5 or 6 on the attractiveness and stability scale. So like you have a good stable career, stable job, or you're working towards a very stable job. You're like average attractiveness. Okay. So that's going to be your 5 and your 6. And then we cannot go like really degenerate. So like those people, they're just not going to make a good spouse if you're like a really good girl. You're not going to be able to date anyone who's below a 6 on the holy scale. So they have to have some morals and values, or else you're going to have a lot of problems. So anyway, so here is like a 6 guy on the holy scale. He's a little bit. He has some morals and values. He's not quite, he doesn't go to church. He's not one of those guys. He's your average looking, a little bit above average, like a 6, good looking guy. Nothing is like very unattractive about him, but he's not really religious. So this guy, this is a risk for a girl because this guy doesn't get a lot of attention just for being attractive. He's not unattractive, but he's not attractive enough to just get attention just for being alive, right? So 5 or 6 guys, they're not used to getting a lot of female attention, and they're not really religious, that they don't have very strong moral backing. So these are the type of guys who, if an opportunity arose to be a degenerate, they would risk it all, right? These guys are also very likely to have like porn addictions. Maybe they don't subscribe to an OF, but they've seen one a couple times, or they've been on the free websites. So these are the guys who would risk it all. They're not that attractive. They're not used to turning down chicks. They've never had the overabundance of interest from girls. So when they get a little bit of attention, they would risk it all. That's your marriage. That's your family. So that's not a risk you want to take as a chick. All right, now moving up, they're a little bit more attractive. So they've gotten plenty of advances from women, maybe their whole life. They're used to like some female attention. Chicks will look over at them in a room, so they're not like, that's not a new thing for them. So these guys, they're still not very moral, right? They're like, there's a little bit of morality, but it's wishy-washy. It's not really based on much. So they're probably already cheating, or they will, or if your friend comes and hits on them, they'd consider it. They'd get super flirty with the waitress in front of you. Like these guys are very attractive. Attractive women will flirt with them, but they don't have much to say. Hey, I'm taken, I'm married, I'm a family guy. They don't have that. So they're like, meh, they're probably cheating. These guys want that, but they don't have the opportunity because they're down here, right? But these guys have opportunity, and plus they don't have much stopping them. So that's there. And then we have the 9 and 10 guys that don't have much morals or whatever, right? And these guys are either like full of STIs, or they're not interested in chicks, right? Or maybe they're secretly in the closet, whatever, like they have some family stuff, like they still haven't come out to people. Or maybe they want a family. They want a family, but they're still doing this on the side. So like these guys are like, they're very, very extra attractive. And this level of attraction is hard for a guy because they're going to get a lot of attention. So they're going to get a lot of women their whole lives, sometimes older women when they're young. So sometimes they could be victims of stuff when they're little boys or young teens or whatever. Like these are the guys who like, you know, it's like having a really, really hot daughter. Like you have to be alert because everyone is going to try to attack this person. And once somebody attacks them, they can kind of like ruin and skew their whole perception of reality. All right. So that's the 9 and 10 guys, and they're low on morals, values, holiness, right? Now we're moving up to a little bit more holy. All right. So this is a pretty good choice. Now they wouldn't risk it all. So like if, you know, even though that they haven't had a lot of attention their whole lives, they still have a little more moral backbone that they can say no. They might still look at variety on the internet. They might say, you know what, I'm not acting on it. I'm a good person, but I'm going to look at it sometimes. So I'm going to be a little immoral, but I'm not going to do it physically, even though just looking at it is enough if you are actually really religious, right? Right. So then we have they're very attractive, but they're a little more moral and religious, right? They're good, but you have to watch your back. Because remember, these guys will come off to other women. Yes. So like these guys will come off to other women as a very, very like good option. So other women will be like, wow, this guy's a good guy. He's not unattractive. I see him turn down other girls. But he's actually like attractive, right? This is above average attractive guy. So this guy is going to get a lot of attention from poachers, mate poachers. So all the mate poachers, they want this guy. So all the women, if you end up with this guy, you have to be on high alert because he does look at variety on the internet. He's window shopping, if you know what I mean. So he's going to be a little flattered when your friends hit on him, or he might have a work wife or some junk like that, you know. But he's not going to act on it. But, you know, if that work wife slips him something in his drink or says, hey, all the coworkers are going out for drinks after work, you know, she could poach on him and he could end up doing something bad. Why? Because he's trained himself for variety because he's still looking on the internet. So when you're still looking on the internet, when you're still open to immorality, that's puts you in a bad situation, right? All right, and we'll get to this one. And then let's move up on the holy scale. This guy really doesn't like skanks, right? He does not like skanks. You know, he's not really going to entertain them. People are going to be like, oh, come to the strip club with me, come and like, you know, whatever. And he's just going to be like immediately like, why would I want to do that? Like, I want to be with my wife and my kids. Like, what? Go do that by yourself. Like, I'm not single. Like, even if I'm single, I'm not doing that. Like, what are you doing? Why do you want to do that? What's wrong with you? Like, do you need help? Do you need to talk to someone? Why do you feel the need to waste money on predator females? Like, he'd be that guy. So he's not very attractive, but he has a very strong moral standing. This guy's got the backbone. This guy is not online looking at chicks, drooling over them, going, oh, variety, oh, variety. He's not doing that. He's not entertaining the thought of variety. Guys who say variety, that means they're lower on the moralities. So this is your best chance. If you're a chick, this is your best chance. And okay, because this guy, he's not that attractive, so he's not going to get all the other women looking at him when you're not around him. Like most women won't even like spend a second thought looking at him. And you know, it's not gonna be like a opportunity. He's not gonna have the opportunities, and he's not interested in the opportunities. So win-win, right? Not offered, not interested. This guy, when he gets married, he's married. That's his woman. That's the only thing that he's looking at and interested in, and all other girls are skanks as far as he's concerned. And then we have, okay, still very moral, whatever, but he's very attractive. So this guy is higher risk, but the girl will be very happy because he's attractive. So this is the type of guy who not only is he attractive and other women are constantly hitting on, constantly. It's so annoying. But he will be disgusted and throw other women under the bus. Yes, but this is assuming the chick wants to be with him and blah 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 blah. We're assuming good girls. This is for good girls. This is not for chicks who just want to, waste people's time. All right? So this is high risk for the girl, not because it's risky because he's not going to do anything, but this is just high stress. It's still stressful because it's still every time your girlfriends come over and they see what a good stand-up guy he is and that he's attractive, they're going to get jealous. They're going to try to sabotage your relationship somehow. And if they can't do it by getting him to sleep with them, they'll find something else that they can do. So it's stressful, but you're still going to be happy because he's not going to act on it and he's going to put them in the place that they need to be put if they try something and disrespect you. So this is a great place. It's still a little stressful because he's attractive. All right, now over here, doesn't matter like how holy he is. These guys, they're very attractive. Okay, they're just so attractive. And again, when you're that attractive as a man or a woman, when you're an extreme like Victoria's Secret model women and like Brad Pitt style men, these guys, they have been sexualized since they were young. So a lot of people have done things to them. It's really hard to find someone who hasn't been touched by that. So these are the type of guys that would end up marrying a cougar for money because they're so used to people offering them things and showing them life since they're very young and too naive. So they might have like morals and stuff like that, but they would still be like, let me rationalize, I'm very good looking, so I deserve a good life, right? I'm very good looking. I deserve a good life. So I'm going to marry the cougar that appreciates me and gives me whatever I want. Or he's for the streets. He's religious. He knows they're hoes. He calls them hoes afterwards, but he's still doing it. Right? So it's like there's a disconnect because he's so attractive. He's so used to getting whatever he wants, whenever he wants. It's just really hard. It's like a very beautiful woman that's just doing whatever she wants and nobody's ever told her anything because she's so attractive. So it's really hard to develop a morality when you're very, very, very attractive, right? Or he could just be in the closet or open at this point because he's very attractive. Oh my gosh. Okay. So now we're going to like these guys are super religious. They're like the monks of the world, right? These guys, they don't put up with no skanks. They're not looking at skanks online. They're disgusted by skanks. Disgusted. They're so disgusted that if a skank is around, the skank won't even hit on them because she knows where she stands. She feels dirty being in the presence of this dude because this dude is so freaking high class and high value and high moral and high standing that she can't even do anything around him. So these guys, you'll find them in the monastery, right? They give themselves over to God and they're not out there on the streets, or they become very asexual, very like studious. They're studying stuff. They're writing stuff. They're, helping the world some way. They have like a purpose outside of that stuff, or they're just like severely autistic. So they are very religious, but they're severely autistic. So it's hard for them to like really associate with people, right? Now, if they are very, very, very holy and extremely, extremely good looking, now we're going into like, they're probably also into some weird stuff because again, no one that attractive goes away unscathed in the world, or they're in the closet, right? They are constantly fighting against those demons. They're not acting on it, but they have demons. They have demons. It's really hard to be that ridiculously good looking in this world and to be ridiculously holy. There's always somebody's got to you. Somebody's got to you. So that is the hot holy matrix for guys and ladies. If you're watching this at some point, this is going to be your best chance. I really hope most of you end up here if you're good girls and you're earnestly entering in a relationship to have a good family life, a long, happy life with one dude, and that's it. Make it work through the hard times. This is where I want you to end up. And if you end up here, you're still doing great in this world, so good for you. And this one is a little more stressful, but you take that as your own risk. And this one is a lot more stressful, but you have a better chance of him turning you down. So like, take that with what you will. And remember, stay away from 9s and 10s. Just like women, they are not for us. And that's all I have to say about the hot holy matrix. And Giga holy, yes. So anyways, I hope everyone can understand the hot holy matrix, and I hope that you end up, what do you mean stressful? It's stressful because other women are trying to sabotage your relationship, not that he's going to act on it, but because the jealousy from friends and sometimes family, okay? I know it's hard for you to understand, but being a chick is hard too because other chicks don't like to see chicks happier than them. So, that's why it's stressful. Not because he's acting on it, but because other chicks are stressing the chick out. Anyways, have a great day. And I hope you guys found this helpful. And I will see you next time. And that's all for today. Being a chick is easy. You just need, oh my God, Imperious. Good night.